guys, it's Nik the Booksmith. Welcome back, welcome back. Maybe you remember the tHinGaMabob. If not, it's okay. There won't be a quiz. However, it is high time for a redo. To get started, I am going to construct an accordion folder from cardstock. With this 12 by 12 piece of cardstock, I'm going to score every ½ inch for 3 inches. So between the 9 and the 12 inch mark. And then I'm going to cut that off and set that aside. With this remaining piece, it's going to get cut down to 10 inches. Now we have 9 by 10. On the 10-inch wide side, we're going to find the middle, which is 5 inches. And I scored on the left and on the right of that 5. And that should make a 1/4 inch fold. Now take that scored piece and we're going to cut that down into 2 pieces, 4 3/4 each, and accordion fold those. These are going to be the sides of the accordion folder that's going to go inside the new tHinGaMabob, the son of tHinGaMabob. Maybe it's the revenge of the tHinGaMabob. Anyway, whatever. Notice how after these are folded, how they fit into the sides of the folder, how the mountains and the valleys fit in. So take note of that. And then I'm going to use some double-sided tape, kind of for the, sake of time here. Notice how the tape goes on. It'll help later. And these are dividers that I cut out of the same cardstock to go on the inside. And I'm going to line those up, and those get a thumb hole punch with the front of the accordion folder. Now I'm going to fit in these dividers, and I'm going to mark where they're going to go, as you can see by those arrows. And I mark those because I will totally forget where they are once I take those out. After you put tape on one side, then match up those pieces, and then that way you can put tape on the other side. And that way your dividers will be evenly spaced. And I'm going to attach these just on one end. And now with the dividers, I'm going to attach them on one side only, while the accordions are still open. After the dividers are attached down, I'm going to remove the backing on the tape and go ahead and close up the accordion sides on both ends. And it's a little tricky. You gotta get it all lined up with the edge and the fold and the, But just take your time. And these little dividers kind of get in the way, so yeah. But it's easier to finagle them now than try to fit them in there with tape. Anyway, this is the way I do it. Now I'm going to take the backing off the tape one at a time and go ahead and attach those dividers to the other side of the accordion folder. This might be backwards, but this is the way it worked best for me. Then I just close it all up, and there we go. All done. Ready to go on to the next part. Next, I'm going to take a piece of this fabric. It's like upholstery fabric. And this piece of fabric is 9 3/4 inches tall and 14 inches wide. I have 2 pieces of cardstock or manila folder, something you got lying around. One that is 4 inches by 9 inches, and then this one is 3 inches by 9 inches. One will get put over here, about 1/4 inch from the edge, maybe a hair bigger, and then the same over here for this one. And then the accordion part will be here in the center, and the little gaps on either side are about 3/4 inch. Also, before I get too far, I'm going to take a stretch of just some sari silk, and it's going to go all the way from about here to here with some extra tails. I'll just use this stretch since it's sitting there, but it'll be sewn onto the other side. If we turn it over to this back side, so there's about my center on that side, and it's about there on that side, and that's about the center there. And it's going to be sewn. So here's the 4-inch side and the 3-inch side, and this will be folded over like this, and then this one we fold it over like this. So I'm going to sew to whatever this spine edge. So that's what I'm going to do first, is this will get sewn down to this fabric on these two areas before I add my inside supports. And there we are, it is all sewn on, and now I can place these. To do that, I'm just going to use more tape. Of course, you can use glue if you so choose. This is permanent tape, and it's going to be encased inside 2 pieces of fabric. So I'm not really worried about it. It's just to hold it in place until I sew around the edge. I'm going to throw caution to the wind and just eyeball it. And there's that one. I'm going to take a lighter weight fabric. This is a very cheap pashmina that I bought at some point. I think at a dollar store. Like, not where everything's $1, but you know. I think I'm going to use this little edge right here because there's a little folded over edge. I think I'm going to have that peek out over the edge of the fabric just to do it. But what I'm going to do, again, for sake of time, and even though I'm not putting a card here, mostly because this is a card, and so I didn't think it needed another piece of cardstock in there, I'm going to add a few strips just to hold down the liner fabric so that it doesn't gap or pucker or whatever it's inclined to do. And I think I will now place this fabric down, carefully line this up. Now that I've done that, I can trim around this edge so it's not so unwieldy. Now I can peel this back. Now it won't shift around on me when I sew around the edge, and then also I wanted to sew right inside this area, right in here, because this will be inside of here. Trim a little bit more of this. While it's folded up, I can take a couple of pins, mark where these folds are going to be. I'm going to sew the little fold areas and then around the perimeter, and then I can trim the rest of this off. I could do it now, but I don't know. I think I'll wait until it's sewed down. Sewn down? Sewed? Anyway, wait till it's secure. Time to trim. I decided to make a little pen loop. So this is just a little bit of elastic that I folded in half. And I'm stitching a little bit of thread through it just to make sure that it doesn't come undone. I was not too sure of the glue staying forever, so. And then I just glued it on the back of the accordion folder. And I'm just getting everything kind of dry fit. And please ignore the little green thing to this. It's not staying. I redo that. But I'm going to use the Fabri-Tac, Fabrifix, whatever it is. Beacon. We don't know. One of these days they're going to call me and say, would you stop talking about that? I'm going to say, no. Now I'm going to punch 4 1-inch circles and punch a hole through those and get a couple of eyelets. But I'm going to glue 2 of these circles together to make a thicker circle. And those are going to be my closure. And there is the measurements for this little flap that's going to go on the envelope. I'm going to go ahead and put a hole reinforcer, you know, like a little, a hole reinforcer. They have no other name. That's it. Anyway, I'm going to put that on the bottom of the circle, and that helps keep the circle off the surface of whatever you're eyeletting it to so that the thread can move under there. This is going to be the body of the envelope. I put all this on the screen so that'll probably be a little easier to see than if I'm trying to explain it to you just with words, because words are hard. Go ahead and fold all that up, and I'm going to be putting the other circle on this bottom part of the envelope after I put the tape down. I didn't take off the backing yet, but I got it ready. And I just marked where I wanted that other circle, and I'm going to go ahead and fix that to that bottom. And that's just a piece of tape, because you know how the bottom of an eyelet is kind of rough sometimes. And now I'm going to just fold all that closed. And I did this kind of, it's backwards. I'll just admit it. It's totally backwards. However, I didn't have a piece of file folder that was big enough to make the envelope with one piece. I just had some scraps left over. So I kind of had to Frankenstein it together. So that's why the flap of the envelope is now getting taped to the body of the envelope. I just didn't have a big enough piece. And as you can see, that's how the string gets everything closed. And again, I'm going to use the beacon glue. I think this is the 3-in-1 advanced, which is exactly the same as the others, but still I'm harping on that. I figured that'd be a nice little money pouch, money envelope maybe. I'm going to add some little beads to the tails of the sari ribbon. I thought this would be a great little contraption, trapper keeper type thing for like traveling. So the accordion folder could keep your receipts, and then you could put money and stuff in the little envelope. Anyway, super cool. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed the redo of the tHinGaMAboB. I appreciate you all hanging out with me today, and I hope you make one. I hope everybody has a great week, and I will see you really, really soon in the next video. Bye, guys.